Hello everyone. So apparently because I just can't help myself with these tutorials about editing videos, I decided to do a sort of a making of for the Legend of the Barrier Skip video, which yes, I did make it. I really should have put my name on here. I was so worried about crediting other people that I forgot to credit myself. Oops, won't make that mistake again. I had known about this particular video from Cosmo, now Narcissa, for a while now, and I knew that this would probably be the beginning of my video about the whole skip, but all the rest of this, like, I had to go find this stuff. So I was, like to find the footage, like, I just heard murmurings about this on Reddit, and I'd seen, like, the little clips of this one here.
I did it!
I did it!
I did it!
I did it! I'd known about that one, but all the rest, like, I had to go find the stuff. So I was just searching for, like, Wind Waker speedrun, and I would go through and I would find, like, games done quick runs, and I would try to find just anywhere where they might talk about the barrier skip. So this one was really useful. Linkus7, he talks about the history of when they just newly discovered it, and he actually gives the chronological order, and that helped me find all those clips, because I was like, oh, Gintana did that. So then I could go and I could search for, like, oh, Gintana. Is it Gintana or Gimtana? Oh. Okay, that's an anime. Apparently I still don't know how to spell his name. So I'd go through and I'd, like, watch hours of, well, not hours, but I would find the exact points where he might talk about it. So what I would do then is just screen record my screen using shadow play. And the colors are a bit less accurate, but then at least I don't have to download the whole stupid video clip. It's a lot easier to just screen record the exact part that you need and then skip forward. You can see I'm skipping forward using the cursor on here to find the next part where they might talk about it. So here's where he actually goes through the barrier correctly. So I thought maybe he'd have something useful to say there, and I don't think that he did really. So you may think, oh, it's easy to assemble a video like this. You just put it in chronological order, right? Well, it is mostly in chronological order, but figuring out what to put in and what not to put in is quite difficult. Here's the original video by former Cosmo Wright, and you can see if I show you the, I just downloaded this one straight up. I didn't screen record it. You can see if I show you the duplicate frame markers, how little of the actual video I used. You'd be shocked at how redundant a normal conversation is. Like, if you pay attention, like, I don't need these words, I don't need these words. Here, I'll show you.
It's Ganon's tower, like, that's the final part of the game. So the very end of the game is right over there.
That's redundant?
And it's right there, like, the loading zone is there.
He talks about the loading zone, I think, over here.
We're not even at the middle of the game yet. But we have access to this area, and if we could reach the loading zone way over there. So
lots of redundancy in that one. And you can also see the redundancy from this video. Let's take a look here. So here's Gymnast's video on barrier skip. It's 7 minutes long.
Right.
So I downloaded that video, and if you'll take a look here, you can see again just how redundant normal talking is. You can see I used a tiny amount of this video based on the duplicate frame markers. And in fact, I used some audio where I didn't use the video.
Today, April 10th, 2017, a consistent setup has finally been discovered for barrier skip. Alright, so there are two parts to the barrier. The first part is this visible part right here. This is the knockback barrier. Basically, if you touch this, it gets knocked back.
So that was already explained earlier in the video, so I don't need that. That's redundant, you see. So I can use even less of the info from this one. So for videos, like, usually you're trying to edit things down. You're trying to save as much time as possible. So editing, man, it's a thing.
If your angle's right, you'll go through.
And I also, if you'll notice, this is not the original audio. What I did was I exported this section of audio and I put it into Audacity and removed the music.
Speedrunning the game. You'll get, like, the little...
So you can hear here.
When he pulls out the Wind
Listen
Waker,
to this.
And you'll get, like, the...
You hear the doo-doo, doo-doo. I removed that from this audio so that I could add the music of the Great Sea.
So if I...
Right here underneath. Because this area in the game, the music is quite subdued, I was able to remove that music quite easily. So let's move on here.
With barrier skip.
Ah, yes, so I happened across this accidentally. I was just looking for other things, and it's in a video that's called Barrier Skip Attempts, which is like freaking 7 hours long. This is ridiculous. Like right at the beginning, he's trying to barrier skip. He's like trying it. And then over here he actually makes the attempt. And this is the very first one with barrier skip. And he says that, and I'm like, oh wow, I found it. I didn't realize that this was this video. So over here, like a little segment from right in here, this is the end of my entire video where he says, fuck this wall. I noticed that, and I thought, oh, that's really funny. So I'm going to put that in at the end because I was looking for a good ending. So like I said, the whole video here is not chronological. Let's see here. What else? I talked to Gymnast, and he told me, okay, it's him and Fuzziness and Linkus who are running the game on any percent right now. It's 3 guys. And in my original cut, I actually had Linkus in that segment. Let's see if I can find... Oh, this is so disorganized, you guys.
Stuff for early mask.
So disorganized.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You can see here in my original cut, it's actually Linkus who is speedrunning after Gymnast explains that any percent is stupid.
Make it to the end.
Come on. Okay, so obviously fast forwarding like that, your computer can't really handle that with MP4. Anyway, so I thought, oh, that's not really fair to not include Fuzziness if he's working hard at this. So I took this section and I swapped it out with a section with Fuzziness. And I made a mistake where I showed this footage like far too quickly. If you'll watch, check this out, analytics. If we go to the audience retention, if you will notice, check this out. Right here, I lose the audience. Look at how steep that is. And it's right at this section because you can't see anything. Let's wait for it.
Normally the gamer...
So right there you see that I lose like 5% of the audience right there because this section is frustrating because you can't see anything. I actually made the sections with the game over more visible by having them be a lot slower. So that's 2,000 and this is 7,000%. But really what I should have done was have, like, instead of, how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th one. Yeah, I should have done like 4. I wanted to show how frustrating it is to go through this whole thing every single time and have so many game overs, but I did it so much that you can't tell what's going on. So lesson learned there. And there's plenty of other mistakes that I made in this video. For example, let's just scrub through here. This part was pretty good. This is narration that I specially got from Gymnast86. I contacted him on Twitter and I said, hey, I need some narration explaining the fairy hover because I know what it is, but I can't be the one to voice over this because I'm not a part of this and it would be weird. So he got these excellent clips. I didn't have to edit this at all. This is like straight up
fight. However, the problem is Link is dead and begins, and then we have to...
Straight up just his narration. He did a fantastic job. And then I use another little bit of his narration here. I'll show you guys the part that I didn't use.
Barrier skip is a trick that's been sought after for many years in the original game, way before the release of the HD version. There have been many theories over the years involving the use of the storage or zombie hovering techniques in attempts to bypass this single wall. The reason the skip currently is only possible in the HD version is due to a new technique known as item sliding, which allows us to reach the speed required to clip successfully. This technique is not possible in the original version, as item sliding only came about due to the first-person movement mechanics added into the HD version.
So I decided I didn't really need all that, because some of this is explained, some of it's not explained, but it's not super important.
The speed required to clip through the barrier is anywhere between 35 and 6,000 units of speed.
And, you know, I should have asked him for some more narration because there's not an obvious enough sort of a distinction made between HD and SD, where the trick is possible in HD, but really the Holy Grail is doing it in SD. And I needed some narration that says, oh, here's what happened. They made a new version of the game, and they got rid of some of the tricks like storage, but they added in some other things that ended up being other glitches that we could use. And yeah, the video doesn't really make it clear. So I got some comments on the original video that are like, "Oh, what's going on? I don't understand. What do you mean SDHD?" So I did a bit of a poor job at explaining that. A lot of making this video was kind of cleaning up audio and removing music and putting music in and putting sound effects in. And with Gymnast's narration, I had to remove a hum.
Between 35 and 6,000 units of speed.
And now listen to it when I take the dehummer off.
The clip through the barrier is anywhere between 35 and 6,000 units of speed.
Much better with that dehummer applied. That is a 120 hertz notch. That is electricity in America, I think. So if you hear electronics humming, it's usually at that frequency. So you can safely just remove it and we're all good.
The speed required to clip...
Sounds a lot better. So I obviously added music to this video. I found this like YouTube video that had literally all the music from Wind Waker in it. Like every single track. So I had free reign to just choose what I wanted, and I certainly did. Now here's another thing. Some of the footage that I got, like this one,
Enter the loading.
I had to fake the audio for this because the original video that I found on YouTube was like really slow and had no sound. Look at this. So I'm working with like really crappy footage here, but this was the best that I had. This is the only footage that I could find of someone, and like look at the compression on here. It's awful. Of someone doing the dive off the edge, being pushed by a bomb, and then zombie hover up underneath. And unfortunately, it ends prematurely. Like, watch this. And we don't even get to the game over screen. It just ends. So I had to fake that. So I do this.
You still can't get past the barrier.
See, this is from a completely different video. Let's see, what's this one? This is from the Zombie Hover over Hyrule video, which I also found on the YouTubes. And it was only called What Happens When You Try Barrier Skip. It was not called Zombie Hover over Hyrule and Hit Barrier. I added that for my own sanity so I could figure out what goes where. And that's just another thing that I found searching through on YouTube. So yeah, I found all of these sound effects on some website somewhere of Link just making noises, and I had to put them in, and I had to put the bomb sounds in.
Stand up, get pushed off the ledge by a bomb, fall down, and then do a zombie hover under the barrier. And
yeah, that's all fake sounds. I'm pretty proud of that. Like the fuse noise was added in as well. And here's a fun trick that I did. Watch this.
that was thought of.
See what I did with the barn doors there? Oh yeah. So Wind Waker has this thing where, you know, it'll go. It'll put the black in, and I thought, oh, I'll just emulate that in my video. I'm sure that most people didn't even notice,
That was
but
thing. Like
they still make the video so much better. So it was really fun for me to be able to just go all out and have fun just editing like a madman and really make a video as good as I wanted. And I learned quite a lot actually about the process of making longer videos like this. I learned that I need to be like a hell of a lot more organized, and I really should have used twice the tracks for audio and video. Like music should have had its own dedicated 3 tracks. Explainy dialogue should have a dedicated track at the top, which it mostly did, but not really. The issue is that I don't have enough monitor space. Like seriously, I need 33% more monitor space, and it's not enough to just grab this every single damn time and move it around. Like I need even just a control surface. Let's see here. Is there anything else I can talk about? I don't know. I don't have a plan for my narration of this video. Oh, this one from Tim Spurlock.
10 years.
Totally
This trick
random.
Theoretically,
If you'll notice, I actually took this out of sequence. Watch this.
Hyrule barrier skip theory, and it's in the game The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. This trick theoretically
You can see here. I'll do the same thing that I did for the last one. I'll show you the actual part of this video that I actually used. I used half of it, right? And I took a bit out of sequence, and it actually works even though there's background music. Even though there's background music in it, it still worked. So I thought, yeah, I'll put this one in. And I could have changed out the visuals. Like this isn't really relevant exactly, but I decided to just let it be. And I also added this on top to just show the people, and I inverted it to let it go over the video. So invert and a screen to blend. See that? Little tricks that, you do two simple things and suddenly you've got a pretty nice overlay. Let's see. Oh yeah, I put people's names in the side because it's SD. That's nice. Musical interludes. This is something that I learned, I kid you not, from this video called Moon Hoax Not. And like, this guy's not the first person to do this, but he'll have these sort of musical interludes.
This is why the moon hoax.
Let's see. Let's see here. Where's the herring break? Here we go. Herring break.
I mean, it was an amazing achievement in electronics, but there was a lot they couldn't do. Let me try to explain that. The pivotal claim for the Apollo hoax theory.
So, herring break. Why did he do that there? I don't really know. It's one of those sort of intuitions that you have as an editor that you just slowly develop, where you understand that if it's just narration,
For anyone able to figure it out.
and then it like goes right to the next one,
Skip has always kind of been a meme in the community, and it was never able to.
it's just not as fun. It's you need that sort of a musical break in the middle. No need for narration. And I do it again over here. And notice I use the same music. Now, why did I do that? Because this music now is associated with, oh, this is a silly, ridiculous thing that's happening. Let's all laugh at how silly this is. And here at the end, I used the same. And this was actually a bad idea. I used the sort of triumphant Great C music. Because I wanted to tie it in with his previous run where he'd done the same thing. Let's see.
Just on the edge of the screen, then I
Forward, this down, forward, L.
Okay, so here's the Great C music. So this was a really good transition here, where I have the music pretty low, and then it swells upwards, and it becomes, oh, this
If your
is now
angle's
great.
right.
Watch this.
you'll go through.
Okay, so another musical interlude. You see that? So I'm using clips from his run, like the very first run with barrier skip. And I decided, I didn't actually watch the whole thing, like I could have, but it would have taken 3 hours. I just scrubbed through. If you'll see, I'm just, searching for things to do. Yeah, see, I'm just like, oh, will there be something good here? Yes, no, I'm not sure. Let's see if anything's cool is happening. So I see right here, he does this weird glitch to jump across the room, but he messes it up, so I didn't use this part. Let's watch this. Yeah, see, he gets hit by a vine. So that was no good. It's just little segments from that one. And I kept swapping them out and eventually decided upon having this sort of funny one. The super swim is really interesting, and that's a new thing you can do with item sliding that you used to be able to only do with storage, but it's actually easier with item sliding. I didn't, you don't need that to be explained. You can just see it. As I was saying, I messed up here. I don't think I really got the timing. I don't think I really got it right. Where Linkus messes up, he loses his run. He's very upset. Nay. Okay, now where do you go from here? Like, as an editor, like, where does the story go? Yes, it was Gymnast who did the next run, but is this the best way to introduce it?
Hope you guys are all excited to lose a run after Puppet Ganon.
Like, the music comes in at the wrong points.
This doesn't make it...
I don't really think that I need to show this. Maybe I should have shown some other clips from the same run. Maybe I should have just cut directly, just cut directly to this.
Ganon. And here we go.
And then, like, put that down and put this up. I don't know. Does this make a better video?
Hope you guys are all excited to lose a run after Puppet Ganon.
Ugh.
And here we go.
Maybe it would have. And then maybe I would have had the music, like, actually come in a little sooner. Like this.
Hope you guys are all excited to lose a run after Puppet Ganon.
Yeah, it just, maybe finesse this around a little bit. Or maybe just not have it at all.
To lose a run after Puppet Ganon.
Maybe just start off with the music.
And here we go.
Maybe you don't have music at all. Like, there's so many decisions you can make. I don't think I made the right decision with what I did, is my point. The particular way that I used the music, the way that I used the pieces of video. Just this tiny segment of music here, not quite right. And I don't really know the answer. So the whole video was like that, but I knew what I was doing. And then towards the end, I just kind of cobbled together what I thought might work. And it's okay. I mean, the video's got like, I don't know, how many views now? It's getting up to 100,000. That's pretty damn good. But it could have been better. So this was a learning experience for me for sure. Let's see, what do I got here? Oh, yeah, so check this out. So it was tough. Oh, okay. Another thing, another mistake I made was cutting from this shot, where you can see all of Twitch, to this shot. Watch this.
Me.
It cuts like that, and then I put the chat on top. I think what I should have done, I should have just done this.
What? What?
Yeah, like that. I think that works better, right? As an audience member, you don't know that during this blackness that I haven't like edited something. I haven't done something to the video, right? When it cuts, like anytime it cuts, you don't know exactly where you are in time. So I should have just held the shot. And then this bit of music here, I was quite conflicted about because music is baked in here with his talking. Okay, actually with the sound effects. Oh, you know what I could have done? I could have grabbed the hurrah sound effect from somewhere without music, put it back in, find Ganon's noises and hit Ganon's, snapping of the swords, and put those back in, and then I could have changed out the music, because the trouble is I actually cut here, and there's a little bit more to the battle. Blah, 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 blah. They're battling. Zelda has to get up. They talk, and then they make the hit, and then now it's over, you see? So like I can show you again, you can see, right, that I skipped all this, I skipped all that, and because I do that, the music doesn't quite match, right? This is where I want the music to match, but this doesn't, because I made a cut there. So that's what I could have done. I was too lazy. So I just kind of found a part of music that lines up to this one, and then this one doesn't line up at all. So is it the right decision to put the chat on top of the screen here? Debatable. I think so. I think it worked. It didn't work over here, which is why I think this way is better over here. But it allows you to see the screen and this at the same time, especially when there's just a cutscene. Like, who cares, right? And this worked quite well. Any percent is dead, and then there's the time. That's important. You can also see it down here. But it's nice to see it on screen here. And then, like, now that run is over. Okay, now where do you go? As an editor, what do you do? Well, I'm not really sure. Is it the right choice that I made to put this here? Should I have, like, ended the video there?
The speed required to clip through the barrier is any...
I used this music. Let's see. Oh.
Through the barrier is anywhere between 35...
So I could have shown this at this point. Oh, and then I put some blackness on the side because that's a tweet. But I decided having it as black is kind of more mysterious, and I'd done that previously in the video, and then I do the same
And currently the...
barn door whoop sort of noise.
And currently the original version...
Again there, and I do it again here.
2 units.
That's not quite synchronized. Maybe it's because I'm messing around with the video, but...
But yes, there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
And then this part obviously is like totally out of time, but it worked.
Time I will ever
Say this, but fuck this wall, seriously.
And I decided to end with the, somebody on Reddit commented, wow, you really usually don't see such a massive time save at the end as you do at the beginning. Because that's the very first run, it was just doing the game quickly, but not really routing it out. So it kind of fell apart at the end there, actually. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. And there are answers to these questions that I've posed. I don't necessarily know them. You have to kind of build up an intuition. I knew the answers for over here, right? I know that I need to like cut this down significantly. I knew that I needed to, show what the host is talking about, as I always say, as they're talking about it, right? That's obvious. But then as you start having to assemble the story itself, like this here, for example, this was much later. This was AGDQ 2014, and this video here was done, I don't know when, but maybe years before. And so transitioning,
actually
showing how you're supposed
breaking
to
it.
break the barrier,
So yeah, if you ever find a way,
and showing the same guy, Cosmo, at the time, I think was quite useful because you show that time has passed and they're still working on it.
In the speedrunning community, time is everything.
This one, I don't know if this was done after that, 2014 or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So there's my video for. Oh yeah, and then putting the comments on screen. Sound effects there. Yeah, so it was a lot of work to put this together. What else can I say? I didn't really get to explain item sliding. I just kind of show it.
And then on HD, when item sliding was found, everyone has tried it,
Yeah.
and it was not possible.
I tried really hard to find footage of different people trying to break through the barrier with item sliding, and it was all from Link Oscuro. How do you say that? I don't know, but like I couldn't find anyone else who was doing it. So is that one him too? Yeah, it's him too. That footage was really, really tough to find. Like I went through his library on Twitch, although there was somebody who doesn't save their VODs, as they're called, so I couldn't get any of that legacy footage. So I did my best. And then here's Gintana. Actually, in an earlier draft, let's check this out. I had Gintana come up sooner. Gurtana. I'm still saying the other one.
Just tried
See
it, and
here.
it was not possible. And then Gurtana,
Yeah, watch this.
we also found item sliding, actually got it, and he uploaded like a video of behind a bear, and everyone was like, oh, it's just fake, whatever.
Barrier skip has been found.
It is August 16th. I just hope that people believe me on this. This is not a joke. You can see an indents right there. You can clip through that.
That's how I got through.
And then someone was able to recreate it on stream, and that's the famous, I did it!
I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it! I did barrier skip!
I love the reaction.
Yeah.
They're like freaking out.
It was only like
So notice that's not as good because by the time your attention has shifted up to, like to the video, it's already happened. So in the next re-edit of that I did, I actually pushed all this over to allow you to appreciate it afterwards. So I used this narration to figure out the order, but then the order that I show you is a little bit different, just a little bit. Let's see, nay, nested.
Okay, Fuzzy has been able to get the zombie over once in practice. No one has been able to get the zombie over in a run yet.
That was really useful narration there. That was absolutely essential because I didn't even know that. So I'm like, oh, hey, good thing that I happened upon that information when I randomly scrubbed through to like, let's see here. Where am I? To that time. And like there was like 30 minutes of him trying this, and I happened to find the part where he says no one's done it yet. So that was pretty amusing. And yeah, this is a nested clip because I wanted to make it look a little bit nicer because I got the aspect ratio a little wrong. Anyway, this, I've kind of jumped all over the place here. Whoop. You can see my horrible disorganization. This would have it probably would have cut off an entire day of editing this if I had stayed organized from the beginning. What a mess. I really need more timeline layers. Like, I could have used twice as many. But then my screen is teeny tiny, and I don't like having to grab this all the time. That's miserable. Oh, yeah, it was originally... Oh, check this out. It was originally Linkus who was failing the zombie hover as well. Let's find that here.
Up to the platform.
Yeah, watch this.
The problem is Link is dead, and loading zones don't activate while Link is dead. So instead what we have to do is we have to bring over two pots, each which contain a fairy. We have to break those pots before the hover begins, and then we have to hover up to the platform and just hope that one of the fairies will fly up and heal Link. Otherwise the trick fails.
And this angle is way to the right. Oh, keep going to the right. Sure. Yes. Yes. Oh my god, yes. Now go straight up. No, don't turn to the left. No. No.
No one has been able to get the zombie over in a run yet. Right, I'm just gonna switch.
Yeah, see, not as good. Not as good. And I did have to add in these sound effects here.
Can't believe that just happened.
See, he talks over it, and there's no bum 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 sound effects. I don't know why, but I think it sounds better with them than without them, so I put them back in. And the other guy, I've already forgotten, Fuzziness, his reaction was so much better.
fly up and heal Link. Otherwise, the trick fails.
This could be hot.
You can also see that it's a different angle.
No! No! No!
Yeah, much better reaction. And you can see that the trick was set up differently back then, like I said. Like he uses a bomb. He goes from the side. Like it's a lot more consistent to hover up against here until you can get on there in a fairy. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. I never explain like why they're using Spanish in the game. Why are they using Spanish, Taran? Oh, because it's faster. That's always the answer in a speedrun. You don't know why they do something, it's because it's faster. Italian might actually be slightly faster, but that was a detail that I decided doesn't need to go in this video, right? It's all about how much information do you want to give the audience. I had to assume that the audience is already familiar with what speedrunning is, and at least with what glitch finding might be. I also did a very poor job explaining the difference between the SD and the HD version. A lot of people had questions about that too, and I really should have asked Gymnast to redo this narration and say something like, okay, there's two versions of the game. There's the original and then there's the HD remake, and currently you can only do the skip in the HD remake because they added first-person item movement mechanics to the game. Like I said, it kind of falls apart a little bit here at the end. I did rush this whole section and didn't do as good of a job as I really could have, but it's all one big long learning experience. So there it is. That's the barrier skip video, and shockingly it currently has 387,000 views. Let's take a look at the analytics here. I was not expecting this. I thought it would get like 50,000 views at a maximum, but something interesting happened. If you'll take a look at the traffic sources here, this is when it got picked up on Reddit. This was just for one day. It was on several Reddit threads. And then for a day or two, it kind of just sat there, and then YouTube picked it up. And YouTube thought, oh, let's start showing this video to people. And they started responding very positively, and it just absolutely dramatically took off. And now it's kind of returned to its former levels, and that's fine. But that's the algorithm for you folks. Like, I don't have this many subscribers, so YouTube is showing this to all sorts of just random people who the algorithm thinks, oh, they're interested in Zelda, they're interested in video games and speedruns, so maybe this video is going to be a good match for them. And in fact, like, I've received so many comments here saying, like, don't know how I got to this video, but it was still pretty cool. And I know how they got to the video. YouTube algorithm, man. Yeah, we're done. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this making of. And see you next time.